Hey guys, it is Christian here, and today we have a big video to talk. We have a big live stream. Hello, Darius. We have a big live stream. This past weekend, we have had PGA winners as well as SAG or Actor Award winners. We have so much to discuss, so let's not even wait any longer. We're going to start with PGA because that's what happened first. We have three categories to talk about with PGA. We have documentary, we have animated, and then we have the big one for Best Picture, which we'll do last. We'll save the big one for last. So documentary, this is an interesting one because The Perfect Neighbor and Mr. Nobody Against Putin were both nominated here. But then the winner was an odd one. It was My Mom Jane, which isn't even nominated for the Oscar. Hello. So yeah, the PGA Award for documentary went to My Mom Jane, which was, again, not even nominated for the Oscar. So The Perfect Neighbor has lost DGA. It lost that to 2,000 meters to Andrivka. It lost the BAFTA to Mr. Nobody Against Putin. And then it lost this award to My Mom Jane. My Mom Jane and 2,000 meters to Andrivka are not nominated for the Oscar. Mr. Nobody Against Putin is. It's weird to me because not only is The Perfect Neighbor an amazing documentary, in my opinion, it's the only one I've actually seen out of the Oscar-nominated ones. But like after it got the Oscar nomination, I thought it was going to be unchallenged. Kind of like how when Summer of Soul got the nomination, I knew it was going to be unchallenged. Like that was winning the most awards. It won the Critics' Choice Documentary Award, which that isn't always super reliable because a lot of the winners there don't always get nominated. But this is one of the few ones that did get nominated, along with Summer of Soul and OJ Made in America. So is The Perfect Neighbor still going to win the Oscar? Like, are they going to default to it, or are they going to go with Mr. Nobody Against Putin, which has the BAFTA award? I don't think something's wrong with just BAFTA since like 2011 or something, which I think I saw something like that. And I also think documentaries that win the Critics' Choice and the Eddie Award for documentary also usually win, but I kind of think Mr. Nobody Against Putin having that BAFTA win may put it over the edge. They do love their Russia and Ukraine documentary a lot too. In fact, the last three documentary winners have been about wars. It's been Navalny. It's been 20 Days of Mariupol from the same director as 2,000 Meters to Andrivka, and it's been No Other Land. Two of those, the two before No Other Land, were both Ukraine ones, and then No Other Land was about Israel and Palestine. Perfect Neighbor, it could still win, but like the fact that it couldn't even win PGA, I think it lost BAFTA because it's more American than Mr. Nobody Against Putin. That's a more worldwide issue. You know, while Perfect Neighbor is a more American documentary. But then, like, why did it lose PGA to something that's not even nominated for the Oscar? It kind of seems like they may just be rejecting it, which is a shame because it's a great documentary, but they may just be not wanting to give it the wins. So for now, it could be very different in weeks when the Oscars actually happen. But I'm going to say they're going to give Mr. Nobody Against Putin documentary. But in 2 weeks, that could be going back to The Perfect Neighbor. We'll see. So yeah, next we're going to talk about animated. This one's going to be very quick. It's going to be probably not even 5 minutes. No, not even 2, actually. It'll probably be just 1 minute going over what won animated. It was K-pop Demon Hunters, which won the animated award at PGA. It's won every single thing that has been nominated for. It only lost the BAFTA because it wasn't eligible, but it won Golden Globe, Critics' Choice, swept the Annie Awards. It won the Annie Award and also won every other category it was nominated for there. So it won 10 awards there. And then it won this, K-pop Demon Hunters. It's winning the Oscar for animated. This is one of the most no-brainer locked-up categories. It's also going to be winning song for Golden, so it's winning 2 Oscars. Moving on, you don't even need to talk about this category any longer. We're going to talk about Best Film, which went to, I predicted that it would be One Battle After Another, and it was. One Battle After Another won the PGA award. I knew it was going to happen. Some people tried to say Sinners, but I knew One Battle. There just wasn't enough evidence to support that I was actually going to lose this. And that puts it in a pretty good spot to win Best Picture at the Oscars, I'd say. Although we're going to talk about later when we go over to SAG, it's not 100% in the bag. There's still a possibility something could happen. But I do think it's the most likely to win Best Picture. So, again, I'm going to have a bigger picture discussion when we go to SAG Ensemble. So we're going to hold off for now, and we're going to go over to SAG. Yeah, one battle after another did win the PGA. PGA has actually been right every single year this decade so far, with Nomadland, Coda, Everything Everywhere, Oppenheimer, and Honora. All those won PGA and the Oscar. They're the most important precursor, I'd say. But will their streak end this year? We're going to have a discussion on it. First, we got to talk about all the other categories at SAG before we can actually talk about the ensemble category. So yeah, the SAG Awards happened last night, and for the most part, they were pretty, like, I did pretty well with my predictions, but they did throw some interesting curveballs that we can talk about. They answered some questions, and then they made certain questions more difficult. We're just going to start with stunts ensemble. I predicted that Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning would win, and it did. It won. It has the most stunts. Like, it made sense that it would win. I almost changed my prediction to F1, but I ultimately didn't. I just decided to stick with the one that had the most stunts, which was Mission Impossible. So Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation lost stunts, Fallout to Mad Max Fury Road. Mission Impossible Fallout lost stunts to Black Panther, but then Dead Reckoning won stunts, and then Final Reckoning won stunts. It's a great win. I mean, they had the submarine sequence, they had the helicopter, or the plane towards the end. Great win. But now we have to talk about big categories. Big ones. We're going to start with supporting actor. So I predicted that Sean Penn would win for One Battle After Another, and he did. He won. I knew that I didn't have a good reason to bet against Sean Penn. Like, I knew, like, it would make sense for him to win SAG. Actually, I should put up my I should actually pull up my community posts from a while back, like from days ago, so I can go over why I thought Sean Penn was going to win the SAG award. Yeah, Sean Penn won, so I got that one right. Some people maybe thought it could be Benicio del Toro or Jacob Elordi, but I knew Penn made the most sense. I knew he did, and he's going to win the Oscar. You're not winning. Someone who has both SAG and BAFTA is going to win the Oscar. Yeah, Sean Penn's going to win his 3rd Academy Award. Will he be there to give a speech? He hasn't. The only award show he's been at this season is the Golden Globes. Him being there, though, makes me think he's going to be at the Oscar, though. Because if he's going to go to the Globes, like, he's probably going to go to the biggest precursor of all, which is the Oscars. I can't wait for his speech. It's probably either going to be like 10 seconds or it's going to be like 10 minutes of him rambling on. That's the vibe I'm getting from if Sean Penn gets an Oscar speech, which he's going to get one. But why did I actually have him winning the SAG award? So I said after his BAFTA victory, Sean Penn has positioned himself as the frontrunner for One Battle. I don't have much of a reason to predict that SAG wouldn't go for him. I guess if they want to create chaos, they can award Benicio del Toro, which they didn't do. I think Jacob Elordi also has somewhat of a shot, which he didn't win. And I said it would be a bit strange if Miles Caton won for Sinners because he's not nominated for the Oscar, which I was right about. Yeah, I just thought, like, there's no way. They do, like, their villain performances, too. So I knew there wasn't a good, like, reason to bet against Sean Penn. And he's winning the Oscar, for sure. He's unchallenged. It's easy. I'm seeing some people who still don't think so. I'm still seeing people who think it's going to be Delroy Lindo, despite him not even having any industry. No, forget not having any industry ones. He doesn't have any nominations aside from critics. He didn't get the Globe nomination. He didn't get Critics' Choice. He didn't get BAFTA. He didn't get SAG. So I think it's hard for him to win over someone who has both the SAG and BAFTA win. I actually moved him. I actually don't think he's just number 5. I actually have him at number 3 behind Stellan Skarsgård and Sean Penn. Sean Penn's obviously number 1, so I just kind of have a little bit of fun with how I want to order the other ones. And yes, he was amazing. Sean Penn was fantastic. I think he's probably my second favorite in the Oscar category. Stellan Skarsgård's probably my favorite, but Sean Penn's my second favorite, and I'm fine with him winning. So yeah, I think he's by far winning the Oscar. That's one category that they answered. So yeah, that's the one category they got right. And then go over to one category where they created chaos for the Oscar, although he actually did get this one right. Supporting actress, I predicted that Amy Madigan would win for Weapons, but this one was very close. It could have been Wunmi Mosaku or Teyana Taylor, but Amy Madigan still prevailed anyway. I'll go over why I thought she was going to win the SAG. This was one of the changes I made compared to my first community post where I had Wunmi Mosaku winning. I said I am changing my prediction from Wunmi Mosaku for Sinners to Amy Madigan for Weapons. I had initially dismissed Madigan because Mosaku and Teyana Taylor's films are both nominated for Ensemble, but there are a few factors I thought about. SAG absolutely loves career narratives, and Madigan has a huge comeback narrative. SAG loves villain performances, and Madigan gives a showy villain performance. She's probably the showiest out of all three of them. I am actually predicting both supporting winners to be villain roles, which they were. SAG loves horror films, considering they nominated Lupita Nyong'o for Us, nominated Get Out for Ensemble, gave Demi Moore the award for The Substance, gave Emily Blunt the award for A Quiet Place, and they nominated Sinners for 5 awards. The guilds also love Weapons, as it was nominated for WGA and PGA. I do think that if Madigan won SAG, she wouldn't win the Oscar, because her movie isn't nominated anywhere else there. But I think it makes so much sense for her to win SAG. It did make sense. They love career. They love their narratives. She's amazing in Weapons. She's a scene stealer, and it makes sense for her to win. But the Oscar is so tough. They made it harder. They made it less easy. I don't think Teyana Taylor, despite her being in the Best Picture frontrunner, I don't think she's gonna win because she only has the Globe win. I did have Madigan actually for like a little bit, like maybe a few minutes actually. Because like, isn't it weird that Mosaku lost when we get to one Ensemble? They love Sinners. Isn't it kind of weird that she lost and Madigan still won? We're gonna see how they awarded Sinners in other categories. So yeah, that part of me just doesn't usually really sit right. But like Madigan winning the Oscar also doesn't really sit right with me. Predicting her to win because again, she's the only nomination for Weapons at the Oscars. If the movie was nominated somewhere else, like for picture or screenplay or casting, like if it was nominated for one other award, I'd maybe have her winning. But because she's the sole nomination for the movie, and she didn't sweep, she didn't win the Golden Globe, she wasn't even nominated for BAFTA. Like, I think that's huge. I mean, I guess you can say that Masaki have to win. Could just be because she was British, but I'm not sure about that. I think it's still a big win anyway. Yeah, she's the sole nominee for her film, and she's not a sweeper. So like, I do feel like the Oscar's gonna be harder. Like both of the places she won, Critics' Choice and SAG, they loved Weapons. Critics' Choice didn't nominate Weapons for Best Picture, but they nominated other categories like screenplay and young actor. I'm actually predicting that Masaka is winning the Oscar. I do have to say that. Again, Stronger Movie, Sinners has 16 nominations. Madigan, like, the Oscar is going to be tough. None of the probably very few international voters are actually going to vote for Madigan because she didn't win the Globe and she wasn't nominated for the BAFTA. Meanwhile, Mosaku, she's in Best Picture runner-up. You know, she has the BAFTA win, which is big. I don't know how I feel about her losing here, despite them loving Sinners elsewhere, but I'm going to say she wins the Oscar for now because Madigan doesn't feel right to me. Mosaku feels more right than predicting Madigan to win for the sole nomination for a movie. Although Madigan is the showiest performance out of all of them. I just don't think Taylor's winning without any industry wins, and then I think Madigan's not going to win as the sole nomination for her movie. So I think if you take both of those into consideration, you have Wunmi Mosaku who has an industry win and is a part of the runner-up for Best Picture. So I think she makes the most sense. But I have Madigan number 2, and then I have Taylor number 3. Our next category is Best Actress, I think. I think that's pretty much all I'd say about supporting actress. So yeah, I think Best Actress is next. Yes, that was the next one to be presented. So I predicted that Jessie Buckley would win for Hamnet, and she did. I said in my community post, actress, it's Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. Nothing else to say. I knew it was obvious. And she's the only sweeper in the acting categories this year. She won Golden Globe, Critics' Choice, BAFTA, SAG. She's winning the Oscar. Nothing else more to say. Rose Byrne won the Golden Globe, and I saw some people thinking, like, could she win here? No. It's easy. She's winning. That's one of the biggest locked up acting categories. But do you know what category is not locked up? Are you guys ready for Best Actor? Which I had predicted would go to Timothée Chalamet, but Michael B. Jordan, he won for Sinners. And that's the moment I knew I messed up for changing my ensemble prediction. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So why did I predict Timmy would win? I said after Robert Aramayo's BAFTA victory for I Swear, this prize has become very important. I think this is between Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle. I think Chalamet makes the most sense for sure because he's been winning the most awards, including Golden Globe and Critics' Choice. I know some people have been saying SAG doesn't like to award actors twice in a row, but I feel like that may not matter because Chalamet is way stronger for Marty Supreme than he was for A Complete Unknown. I don't know if this is why he lost, but again, they just don't. I guess there are people saying that SAG doesn't like to give people the award twice in a row. They were right about that. I guess if they throw a massive Sinners party, maybe Jordan can come along, and I'd say he's the runner-up for SAG. I said he was the runner-up there. I don't think DiCaprio will win after he failed to win at Golden Globe or BAFTA, even as his co-stars won there. However, it's not impossible if they just throw a huge One Battle party. If he, Jordan, or Chalamet win at SAG, I'll predict whoever wins to win the Oscar. So yeah, Michael B. Jordan won. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys think he's winning the Oscar? I think he is. Timothée Chalamet does not have any industry wins, and I think it's harder for him to win because of that. I do kind of think Michael B. Jordan does feel like a Denzel Washington in Fences, like a performance that would win SAG but not the Oscar. But like Casey Affleck won the BAFTA. Like Timothée Chalamet didn't win the BAFTA. No one did. Robert Aramayo won the BAFTA. They won with their home turf. If Timothée Chalamet won the BAFTA, I'd probably be predicting him to win the Oscar. But SAG, but he didn't win there, and he has no industry wins. So I think Michael B. Jordan, again, having that SAG win, and with Sinners being the runner-up for picture, like I just feel like it makes the most sense for him to be the Oscar winner. But Timothée Chalamet, I guess, is not impossible, although he doesn't have any industry wins. He did win the Globe, and he did win the Critics' Choice. I do kind of feel like, though, Marty Supreme passed its peak. Its peak was in the entire month of January, when the movie came out on Christmas. In January, we saw it doing the best. We saw Timothy winning Critics' Choice, Golden Globe. We saw Josh Safdie getting in at DGA. We saw it getting every single BAFTA long list possible and doing very well with BAFTA nominations. We saw it doing very well with Oscar nominations. We saw Odessa Hazayan get a SAG nomination and a BAFTA nomination. Not an Oscar nomination, but they'd still love Marty Supreme. They got 9 Oscar nominations. But like since then, we had the whole Safdie controversy, and I feel like there's just been more time for other movies to gain more steam. And Marty Supreme, I feel like, has kind of lost a little bit of steam. I feel like the hype's kind of gone down a little bit. So I do kind of feel like Michael B. Jordan is going to win. I have seen some people trying to say Wagner Moura is going to win. I don't see it at all because he did win the Golden Globe for drama. He even beat Michael B. Jordan there. But he doesn't have any industry nominations. He didn't get a SAG nomination. He didn't even get a BAFTA long list. Like, I feel like that's big. So I do feel like it really will just be Chalamet or Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan, I think, would be the first actor to win with just SAG, lead actor. But like Timothée Chalamet would be the first lead actor to win without BAFTA or SAG, since Sean Penn for Mystic River. Marty Supreme may not win a single Oscar. Yeah. Right now, I'm saying Michael B. Jordan's taking the Oscar. I have Sinners actually doing very well at the Oscars. I have winning 5 categories there. Spoiler alert. We can talk about ensemble now. I predicted one battle after another. I initially had Sinners, but then I switched, and I'm kicking myself for it, man. I knew I shouldn't have, but I did it anyway. My gut was telling me like one battle was just gonna sweep. They were just gonna give it an ensemble, but I was wrong. Sinners won ensemble, and my initial reasoning, I said I think this is close between Sinners and one battle, but I'm leaning towards Sinners because it's been winning more ensemble awards, and I think it feels more like an ensemble film. This can maybe be the closest Sinners comes to getting a picture precursor. However, maybe One Battle's record-breaking 7 nominations cannot go underestimated, and maybe it is that much of an unstoppable frontrunner that it just wins anyway. And then, like right after One Battle, when PGA, I said I'm changing my prediction from Sinners to one battle after another. Last night, One Battle won PGA, which puts it at a very good place to win Best Picture at the Oscars. However, I have previously said that I think Sinners would still win Side Ensemble. Maybe they do choose to spread the love, and my initial prediction was correct. However, my gut feeling is telling me that One Battle is about to just sweep everywhere, and winning SAG would be a part of that. What makes this tough is that One Battle and Sinners both make a lot of sense to win SAG Ensemble, and by predicting One Battle to win, I'm predicting Sinners to win no SAG awards. However, I think with how close this category is, it makes sense to go with the film that has been the most dominant all season in general. One Battle also has the most SAG nominations for any film ever with 7. Yeah, so I just had a feeling they were going to sweep One Battle. But Sinners won, and most people said it would, but I chickened out and predicted Sinners. Casey Affleck won the BAFTA, though. He won the BAFTA. Denzel Washington was nominated there, actually. It was only Casey Affleck. But yeah, I'm kicking myself for not doing Sinners, man. I feel so, like, dumb for not doing that. I got 4 out of 6, though. I got 4 out of 6. Would have been 5 out of 6 if I kept Sinners. But so one of my last-minute changes did pay off with changing from Masaku to Amy Madigan. That worked. And then, but changing from Sinners to One Battle, it did not. It failed. I messed up. Yeah, Timothée Chalamet, he won the BAFTA. Casey Affleck won the BAFTA. Even like with Lily Gladstone or Emma Stone won the BAFTA. Even when we talk about Regina King for Beale Street, she actually won without any industry wins, but she wasn't nominated for SAG or BAFTA. She did win the Globe and Critics' Choice. So I think Michael B. Jordan just makes the most sense to win. And Sinners is winning the casting Oscar. I feel very good about that now. I have it winning 5 Oscars, actually. Actor, supporting actress, original screenplay, which is locked. Casting, I think, is near locked. And score is obviously, like, obvious. I have One Battle winning 6 Oscars for picture, directors, adapted screenplay, supporting actor, adapted screenplay, cinematography, editing. Yes, we have to answer the big question. Is Sinners this year's Crash, Moonlight, or Parasite? Is it? I think the path is there. It's going to win WGA for sure. It already has SAG. It won the ACE Eddie Award over F1, which was huge, I think. One Battle did win comedy, though. One Battle's probably going to win editing at the Oscars. I think it's possible. I just don't really think it has that much. One Battle makes more sense. It's going to win director, most likely. It's winning screenplay. Well, I'll break it down. Sinners and One Battle are both winning screenplay. That's locked up. I think they're both winning acting prizes. I'd say One Battle's a little more locked up for an acting prize than Sinners. I think Sean Penn's locked, but Wumi Masako and Michael B. Jordan aren't necessarily guaranteed. I have One Battle, though. I have that winning editing. That's huge. I have it winning director, which is also huge. Paul Thomas Anderson swept the season. And I think off of that, all of that, it's going to win Best Picture. I do think if Sinners won Best Picture, this is not a 0% chance. Like, this could maybe be like a 20% or 15% chance that Ryan Coogler surprise wins. Although Bong Joon-ho did win the Critics' Choice Award, he tied with Sam Mendes, who was the sweeper. I think One Battle's still winning, although Sinners is close. Sinners may actually win Best Picture. I have both of those. If my predictions go as planned, they're both gonna have 5 Oscars going into Best Picture. I have Sinners winning 2 acting prizes. Movies can lose Best Picture and still win 2. 3 Billboards, 1, 2, still lost. But I have one battle. Like, is a movie that gets an acting prize, editing, screenplay, director really gonna lose picture? I don't really know. La La Land didn't have any cracks. 1917 had a few. It wasn't nominated for editing. It was nominated for screenplay, but had no chance at winning. People thought director was going to be an obvious win, but that didn't even happen. Parasite, again, SAG Ensemble win and had the Eddie win for editing. Didn't win the Oscar for editing, but it had that. And it had WGA. 1917 had PGA and BAFTA. I guess it would be similar to that, or maybe Moonlight only had Globe Drama. That didn't even win SAG. Hidden Figures won SAG. Moonlight only had WGA, really. I don't remember if it won the Eddie or not. Maybe not, because Hacksaw Ridge won the Oscar. But La La Land had the most going for it. If one battle loses Best Picture, it's probably gonna be the Best Picture to lose with the most wins behind it since La La Land. Because one battle has PGA, it has BAFTA, it has Golden Globe, it has Critics' Choice, it has DGA, it's going to have WGA, it's going to have the Eddie Award for editing. It won 6 BAFTAs, it won 4 Golden Globes, it won 3 Critics' Choice Awards. It has everything in its favor. The only thing that's tough is that Sinners is doing very well as well. That has a SAG Ensemble win. It has, how many Critics' Choice Awards did it win? I think it won 3. It won screenplay, it won casting, and it won score. Oh, Young Actor won that, I guess. So it won 4 Critics' Choice Awards. Oh, Mosaku won the BAFTA, and it won screenplay at BAFTA as well. And it won the Eddie Award for editing in drama. So yeah, Sinners, it could upset. I don't think it will. I think one battle just has more in its favor. But Sinners is absolutely the runner-up. No contest there. I just think that with the amount that one battle has, it'd be a little bit tough to deny that for Best Picture. But it's very close. And if Sinners wins Best Picture, what do I think its win package is? Well, I already have it winning actor, supporting actress, original screenplay. I have it winning score, and I have it winning casting. I think it wins all those. I think cinematography comes along. I have one battle winning that for now, but I guess cinematography comes along. Picture, picture, obviously. It's not a 0% chance that Ryan Coogler wins. And everywhere, at the critics groups where Sinners has one picture, Ryan Coogler's one director. It doesn't make as much sense for there to be a split this year. So if Sinners is winning picture, I don't think the chances of Ryan Coogler winning are impossible. Although the issue is that Paul Thomas Anderson swept, so I'm obviously going to be predicting him to win director. Golden will win song. It will win that. Delroy Lindo, I don't think so. I don't think he's winning. Could it win editing? Could it surprise there? If it won editing or Delroy Lindo somehow won, it'd be winning picture. But the thing about Sinners is that if that wins Best Picture, it's going to be a shocker. It's not going to be something I could just predict. I actually did predict Parasite that one year. And I think that was because of the preferential ballots, actually. I know those are bad now. Those barely are accurate, but I think that's what made me actually go with Parasite. No, it was the Oscar expert. It was his video explaining why he thought Parasite was winning Best Picture. Moonlight, I wasn't predicting back then. My first year predicting was during the Green Book year. My first year predicting on this channel was the Nomadland year. That was an interesting year. So what do I think? I think one battle is winning Best Picture. I'm going to say Sinners, number 2. It could be the surprise, but one battle would be the movie to lose with the most precursors since La La Land, I'd say. I think since La La Land. That'd be surprising for one battle to go this far only to lose. No, Frankenstein, I think, is winning all 3 of those. I think those are pretty secure. A lot of the texts are very obvious to me. Those 3 are obvious. Visual effects is obvious. Score, sound, I think, is pretty secure. Editing, I'd say, is mostly secure. The only one that's really up in the air is cinematography. Although I am leaning one way towards that one with one battle after another. But yeah, what do you guys think? Is Sinners winning Best Picture? I still think no, but prediction changes that I have made following PGA and SAG. I do think Michael B. Jordan's winning. I've had Wumi Masaku for a while actually, since BAFTA. I think Sean Penn is guaranteed to win. I think Sinners is closer to Best Picture than I thought it was going to. I initially thought after it lost PGA, I was gonna be like, it's over, one battle's winning, but like the path is there for it to upset. I don't think it's going to. I still think it's gonna be one battle, but the path is there for an upset. I don't think it's 100% out of question. I have one battle winning 6, and I have Sinners winning 5. I have one battle winning picture, director, supporting actor, adapted, cinematography, and editing. And then I have Sinners winning actor, supporting actress, casting, original screenplay, and adapted. This is Sinners. And casting. Well, no, I think I said casting. I have Sinners winning actor, supporting actress, original screenplay, casting, score. We'll see if Train Dreams wins ASC. I kind of feel like it might. I probably actually predict that just for when, if that happens, I can be like, oh my god, I told you Train Dreams was winning. If Train Dreams wins that, I'll probably stick with one battle. But yeah, if Sinners wins, if one battle wins, it's very obviously going to win cinematography. But yeah, that's all I have to say for SAG and PGA. The WGA awards are next weekend. I'll see if I do a discussion video on those, because I think that's going to be very quick. It's obviously going to be Sinners wins original there, one battle's winning adapted. I'd be very surprised if those didn't happen. Like, I don't know how long of a conversation I can actually make with those, but maybe if I have like changes of heart within that time span, I could talk about those. But I don't want to just mention that in my final Oscar prediction video, which will be in a few weeks. But so yeah, WGA discussion will probably be next week, a week from today, and then final Oscar predictions probably either the Friday or Saturday before the Oscars, and then Oscar winner reactions are going to be here and before we know it. You know, this award season, there were some moments where it dragged, but like every year when the Oscars come around, I'm always like, I can't believe we already made it to this moment. Like, it feels like award season went by quicker than it actually did. And this award season especially was actually long, because the Oscars happened 1 year. The last year's Oscars happened a year ago today. So like since this time, we've been predicting for next year, which is crazy. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.